to the recently canceled podcast with Von Fry.
Hey, how goes it? So you're listening to episode 6 of the recently canceled podcast with Von Fry. I'm for sure you realize that right now. So I've got a few topics on hand. It's nothing too terribly special here, but the last topic's going to be a Patreon exclusive. So for that, sign up to support my Patreon efforts. $1 a month gives you full access to the new episodes as they come in, the full episodes that is, and the archive of all the previous 5 episodes. So, want to start off talking a little bit about Overwatch's Retribution campaign here. They're calling this like the Archives event. So last year's Archives was Uprising. Now this year it's Retribution. You have 3 DPS characters, you have a healer, you make your way through the streets of Venice, Italy, because one of them was a hothead and shot a guy and that blew their cover. So they have to fight a whole lot of Talon guards in the streets. Okay, so this is a computer game that's basically a port in to the Xbox One where I'm playing it. And I came up with a strategy on how to get an achievement that has an unlock rate of 0.01%. Still, as I say this, after I unlocked it. And my strategy works so damn well. I have a video up, I posted earlier today, of me getting this. But the thing that I find annoying here is I'm not getting many views on that. And no one over at the Reddit subreddit for Overwatch even noticed. I posted it, said, hey, look, easiest way to get the clean getaway achievement, beat the Uprising Retribution campaign or PvE on expert without any of your teammates getting in-capped. You know, I laid it out right there, and they're like, nah, screw this guy, I'm ignoring that. I've seen videos of people doing this. You know, I saw people do this in videos too, but their strategies were not as sound as mine. Now, I came up with my own strategies for how to do this. I had a team of people, like 3 teenagers, who actually paid attention, did what I said to do. You know, we learned a little from each other. It's like, hey, that first heavy assault, the big tank guy that shows up with the Gatling guns, he's a problem. What are we going to do about him? Okay, we're just going to lead him up the stairs, jump off the building, run around the back of the building, and have him go up the stairs again. And we're going to do most of the damage on him while he's walking upstairs. Sure, it'll take a little bit of time, but it works. But you know what? I don't really see other people doing it quite like that. I see other people putting their teammates at too much of a risk, where the extra ad troopers, the enforcers, are taking them out. But you know, our strategy worked pretty damn well. What do we do when there's an assassin that shows up? We hide in the blue room over by the bridge. She has one way in. We flashbang her and shoot her up. She jumps on someone, we punch her. We have various different ways to daze her, get her stunned, and finish her off. That's how we do. What do we do when we get to the heavy assault at the end? You know, just the round before this, I thought, hey, look, this tree over here is on this kind of raised cement area. I can walk around this. He can't shoot me. I can then get up to his back, shoot him in the back some, walk around the other direction. I think I can 1v1 him with Reaper. And you know what? I did. Is anybody else doing this? No. Other people don't have videos showing that they done this. Now, they want to disregard my strat, and I put it out there on the internet. You know, this could go very easily from a 0.01% unlock rate to a considerable unlock rate because of me, but you know, that's my life there. Everybody ignores what I do that's so good. Oh, hey, Vaughn comes up with a strategy to make this easy. Screw him. I'm going to do it the hard way or never get it done. I'm going to just toil away for weekends and never finish this because I'm an asshole. That's what everybody's attitude is. So, another thing I want to talk about, talk about NBA playoffs. there's not a lot to say here. You know, I used to joke that in the NBA they don't play basketball until the playoffs. Everybody just sort of coasts through the regular season. They build their stat line up so that they can get good endorsement deals, sell their sneakers, get a new contract. Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder managed to become the first player to have consecutive seasons in which his stat line averaged a triple-double on the season. He did it last year and got the MVP award. This year he has more help, as LeBron James put it. I'm sorry, King James, as he likes to anoint himself. So he had some help, chiefly Paul George, less so Carmelo Anthony. Honestly, Carmelo Anthony is wasted potential. He's like a small version of Shaq. He's sort of this guy who was like, yeah, I can conquer this, I can do this. That's too much work. Who's got time for that? I'm just going to lazily bounce around between franchises and get my pay. And that's kind of his attitude. He doesn't want to be in Oklahoma City, obviously. Things didn't work out for him with the Knicks. Knicks is a dumpster fire anyways. But now that Russell Westbrook has help and they have a disappointing record, they had to win out some of their final games there just to really clinch playoff spot. I think 2 of the last 3. Russell Westbrook found himself in a situation where he needed to get 16 rebounds in the last game to average the triple-double. He does this. He gets like 20 rebounds, a lot of assists, scores hardly any points at all. I think he finished the night with 6. So actually point scoring, which is usually the easiest category in which to get double digits, he failed to get that night's triple-double. And now everybody's saying he is a stat patter. That he's getting credit for a lot of rebounds other people could have grabbed, say after free throws. You know, he had like Carmelo Anthony boxing out, and then he grabbed it. You know, Russell Westbrook also really attacks the rim. He shoots a lot. His shooting percentage has increased this year, his field goal percentage. He could probably do a better job at free throws. And not many people can really catch up with Steph Curry there. But he's not that three-point assassin that the NBA seems to be really embracing right now in the college game. Oh, but he pads his stats, right? You know, if it's so hypocritical and stupid the way ESPN treats these athletes. Like I see on their Instagram, they're talking about how Russell Westbrook is the king of the triple-double. Now, I guarantee you, if LeBron James got a triple-double in the season and was the first to do so since Oscar Robertson, and Westbrook wasn't so much a thing, they would have just called him the king, the GOAT. There wouldn't be that qualifier. The king, ... of the triple-double. It'd just be, he's the king, the king. Everything LeBron James does, ESPN talks about it being so great, how he's the GOAT, how he's the king. Here's a comparison against MJ. We have like people on hand whose whole job is to come up with some kind of weird stats that nobody was actually working towards achieving, and we're going to use that as information in our propaganda campaign to help LeBron James be better than Michael Jordan. Now, why would they do this? Because Michael Jordan is retired. He's not making highlights for their SportsCenter episodes, and thus they have to find some way to say, oh, look, the new highlights are better than the old guy's highlights. Hey, please watch us and watch the advertising. And that's how ESPN makes money. So it's odd. It feels like it could be LeBron James is on their payroll, or LeBron James is paying them to make him look good. So everybody else is just the king of something, but he's the king. I'll tell you what he's the king of getting coaches fired rather. You know, poor Ty Lue gets put in this situation where David Blatt gets shoved out of the way by the king. The king has held the Cavs hostage. Well, I don't know if I want to come back, if I don't get help. Hey, Philadelphia's looking pretty good. Trust the process. What was the process? Like, tank until you get enough number ones, you can recruit the king. Honestly, I'd rather see Philadelphia deny him. Like, LeBron James is going to take his talents to the city of brotherly love, and then they're like, oh, not so fast. We're not interested. We don't really need you. You look at LeBron James' stats, they're not that great. Oh, he doesn't have enough help. He got help taken away from him. He belittled Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving was there in the time that LeBron James had left, bolted to the Miami Heat. He's there trying to be the face of the franchise, and then you have the old face of the franchise just show up. That's like being the second wife, and then the guy's like, oh, hey, ex-wife is going to move in. Kyrie Irving's like, I don't need any of this. This guy, he's disruptive. He wants to play general manager. He wants to play head coach. Screw him. I'm going to the Celtics. And you know what? The way things look this year, thus far, kind of looks like Kyrie Irving is on the right side of history, as you like to say, right? So, NBA playoffs, you have some matchups. Top seeds are going to move on because they play in a series. And the top seeds don't tend to lose when they have 4 games at home with which to get work done. It's just, maybe it's now NBA basketball doesn't start until maybe the conference finals. Because even at that, there's so little parity that you have to wait until the real teams play each other to even really call it basketball. So, wherever, I guess the Raptors are top seed in the East, I'm hardly paying attention. Rockets are top seed in the West, though you realize that could be the case because the Warriors were coasting quite a bit and had some injuries. There's just not enough excitement there. It's really just, oh, hey, well, this team has all the superstars, and okay, they didn't have that great of a record, but they have more stars than the other teams, so they're going to win anyways. Not a lot to it. The other day, I went to Hardee's, and, I was on my way over there, and I used their Superstar Rewards app. Yeah, that's a weird name for an app, I feel like. And I think the reason it's called that is because Hardee's is known as Carl's Jr. in other parts of the country. I think there's parts of Kansas where it's Hardee's, parts of Kansas where it's Carl's Jr. Now, they built one around my place about a year back, and it is a Hardee's. And I'll tell you this, they got mighty good chicken tenders. And I think I've unlocked the secret to the quality chicken tenders, okay? And that secret is, it has to be listed as hand-breaded. Now, why is that? Because if the chicken tenders / chicken strips are hand-breaded, that means they're made at that restaurant, then fried up and put on your plate or in your basket. It's weird. They always put chicken tenders in a basket. Here's your basket. But it's not really a basket. It's like a cup made of paper, and it's never wicker. But Hardee / Carl's Jr. does right with the chicken tenders. I have these points saved up on the rewards app. No, not much. I guess 900 points. And that's really nothing. You get 100 for visiting, 100 more if you tweet about your visit. But it's just kind of weird because you couldn't really include a photo of the food you're eating or any of that. So you're kind of doing that beforehand. And they got rid of their app program, I guess back in October. And I hadn't realized that. And I'm like, hey, what's the deal? I got 900 points, which, all you could really do is get like some fries or drink with. And they tell me on Twitter, oh, hey, sorry about that. emails here. We'll send you something. Apologies. I'm like, well, all right. So I'm like, hey, I was disappointed that your app's gone, but maybe they're coming up with a new one. Oh, but your points accumulated don't carry over. How convenient. And I find that to be the way with a lot of these reward systems. I was doing these codes for Mountain Dew on these caps, and the thing only went for, it was something to do with the Xbox One X, Project Scorpio. The thing only went for like a few weeks, and it's like, how are you supposed to accumulate like 30,000 points at the rate these are worth in a few weeks to get like these special prizes that people are bidding on? So it's like whoever has the most points won that auction. How are you supposed to compete in such a little time frame? Are you supposed to like own a distribution center, read all the caps, scan them into a computer, then put them on the Mountain Dew 2 liters? It's just shady stuff. Pepsi has another one, but I don't know how long it's going to go on for, where you could get like a refrigerator or a Yeti cooler or something. And that one, at one point, it looked like my family was on pace to get that done. We were going through like 10 2 liters in a week. So points were stacking up mighty quick there. I think their points, it was like 10 points for a 2 liter. And if you bought stuff from Walmart, you could actually scan your receipt, which we don't really shop groceries at Walmart there because, shoot, that's another podcast right there. But anyways, you never know how long these reward things are going to go on for. There's always some kind of way to cheat you. If you accumulated to get to the good prize, oh, sorry, we discontinued the rewards thing. We're not printing those on the caps anymore. Oh, but we'll have a new one. Oh, and your points don't carry over. Bye. So Hardee's is kind of doing that. They said, oh, well, we've got a new app coming, but we'll send you something. What do they send me? Well, I just opened it up, and this is weird. Like, I've had other kind of misgivings at fast food places before, and they've sent like a BOG, be our guest envelope, and it'll be like, oh, hey, here's a free meal, the full combo, whatever of your choosing. Sorry about that, right? This is kind of cute. They sent like this cutout of Hardee's sandwich. Like, this is, it says here on the back, free bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit with this coupon. And it's like kind of a postcard without any shipping space. Good through the end of the year. Signature CKE guest services. Now, I haven't had this sandwich, but it's the kind of thing that you'd give somebody where it's like, look, okay, we're sorry here. Not a free meal, but, a free breakfast item, though you're probably going to spend some more money when you come in to use this. Not really what I was going for with my points accumulated and all that, but, at least they kind of reached out, right? What kind of weird things have you gotten from fast food places, let me know in the comments or something, right? Alright, so that's going to do it for this week's free version of the Recently Canceled podcast. I'm going to talk about the brand new Jeep I ordered and received, and by I mean my dad. And we're going to talk about that in the Patreon exclusive part coming up.